right, and welcome to Fast Break Breakfast, NBA podcast. My name is Keith, here once again with my buddies Chuck in the flesh.
Hey now.
And through the miracle of computer phone, John Burr.
Hi there, fellas.
Hey, buddy boy.
John, you're at your house. You're nowhere exciting, correct?
Nowhere cool.
Yeah, just timing-wise, you have to show up at a work that is not this, pretty much the internship you have here, which is
the most banal of reasons.
Yeah. You're
not somewhere cool.
I have the Jason Tatum of reasons for not being there.
Yeah. What does that mean? Just because
very dull and meaningless.
Right.
Yet, for some reason, people care.
Who cares?
Chuck is crouching into his microphone.
Yeah,
there's an adjustable arm, Chuck.
I know, but at this point in the show, you're going to hear me adjust.
It's fine. I think we can do it. Chuck has so John, to paint the picture.
It took me
Chuck
5
has
years.
slouched into his chair like Steve Ballmer at the introductory press conference to Kawhi and Paul George. Did you see the photo, Chuck?
I did.
John, did you see the photo?
What photo?
There's a photo of Steve Ballmer at the Clippers introductory press conference for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
He was doing Ballmer things.
Ballmer was doing Ballmer things, but sitting in the chair, Steve Ballmer perhaps has never sat in a chair with arms before. He did not know what to do.
He was like...
It's like he was on an airplane and he didn't want to touch anybody. His arms were inside. It's like one of those folding director chairs, like the
So
generic.
Steve Ballmer is not only proof that there is no such thing as karma, he's also proof that there is no such thing as evolution.
It could be.
He was like Ricky Bobby the first time he got interviewed after he won a race. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Looked like the fake body of Jiminy Glick.
Dude, I watched
like a stuffed Jiminy Glick puppet.
I watched 2 hours of Jiminy Glick last night.
Did you?
Oh my God, it's the best.
Tangential, where do you guys stand on the movie Clifford?
Clifford of the greatest.
Clifford fans?
So I never saw it.
Love Ed Grimley.
No. It's outstanding.
Is that the Charles Grodin? Am I thinking of the right?
Oh, it's so Grodin.
It is Grodin.
So Clifford, that's the one that's unrelated to the dog. Is this
right? Not the big red dog.
This is about some
Cliff Robinson.
It's about a bad. Oh, Uncle Cliffy.
timeless small forward.
Right.
No, actually, I was thinking about Jiminy Glick because the wife and I, because it's the off season, we are spending time together, and we're watching TV.
Ooh.
And so we watched the Comedians in Cars with Coffee.
That's what
Seinfeld did the Martin Short.
Mm-hmm.
We watched that because we're white people and we're old.
Well, it's Netflix. Also, it's the greatest show on TV.
It's really good. My wife is.
Chuck thinks he's black, so he probably watched the Eddie Murphy one.
I watched the Eddie Murphy, Jamie Foxx first.
How old of a person am I? Queued up the Eddie Murphy one, said, whoa, this is 42 minutes. No.
Right.
I thought we were doing 18.
It feels like 42 hours.
Yeah.
It is a long
I need locked on basketball level of length. I need 14 to 18 minutes.
So this season, Maria Villaseñor is like a 13-minute long episode.
You know why? Because he doesn't like talking to women.
He really doesn't.
He hates it. And this is actually a big issue where my wife, she's like, she will concede, okay, we can watch Comedians in Cars with Coffee, but it really angers her that one, he obviously hates booking women. And two, when the women are on there, he's horrible with them.
He's kind of bad with them.
Well, he's fully misanthropic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, the only episode of the show that's even worth watching really multiple times is the Gary Shandling one because
Shandling was great.
He just busts him on it.
Yeah.
Although we rewatched the Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks just because it's old people. I love watching old people. Is it Kristen McKinnon? Is that her name? Wait, I'm screwing that up. The Saturday Night Live.
Kate
McKinnon. It seemed obvious to my wife. Me, I'm as a white male, I don't pay attention to these slights, but I'm working on it. She was pointing out that
that's your privilege.
He obviously it is my privilege, right? She was pointing out he obviously had no interest in her career. And wouldn't let her do anything. Like he was trying to do everything. And my take was also, these things are so heavily edited.
Right.
Why doesn't someone edit it just better to make him look better? Like they're editing down hours of stuff into
just that bad.
You think so?
But there's also
the documentary, Some Kind of Monster, is the greatest mockumentary that's not a mockumentary at all. And I've spoken with those filmmakers, and that is as good as they could make those guys look.
Well, I feel like the Some Kind of Monster one is Metallica being like, oh, no, we have to use this. And they're like, this is not great for you guys. Like, no, this is Yeah, we're awesome, and this is what people want to see.
The big reveal.
The special features on that movie, the greatest.
Was that a chef's kiss? We're not doing a video right now.
But I ended up doing some deep dive research after watching Comedians yesterday. He hates Bobcat Goldthwait for some reason.
Is it because of the stuff that he does on the actual Larry Sanders show?
Oh, where he burns.
Where he's like the guest out of control?
No, it is like he interviews whatever that burlesque lady is. I forget her name.
Okay.
But she brings him up. I've never seen Seinfeld do this. He spent a specific amount of time explaining how much he hates Bobcat Goldthwait. But they bleeped out Bobcat and put a black bar over the face. I had to go on Reddit to find it out.
What he was saying.
To figure out who they were talking about. And she was super uncomfortable.
Is it Robin Williams related?
No, he just hates him because he thinks he's not a stand-up. He's like an act. He was a voice and a dumb thing. Also, Bobcat called him out for dating a 17-year-old when he was 38.
Yeah, that was
click, boom.
Yeah.
Sniped by the Catman.
Well, did you guys have breakfast?
I went to Redheaded Stranger.
Okay, and that's not
Nelson's
your girlfriend.
house?
It's not a strain of weed or my girlfriend.
Right.
It is a taco joint in East Nashville that serves breakfast tacos.
Oh, nice.
And I knew we were recording, so I got up and went to Redheaded Stranger right when they opened at 9.
That's good preparation,
It was
Chuck.
good prep. And I did a chorizo, egg, sour cream breakfast taco.
That's awesome.
Legit breakfast tacos,
That sounds
too.
beautiful. That sounds
was
wonderful.
great.
John, did you have breakfast?
So it is now 11:48 a.m. Let me walk you through my eventful morning. At 11:24 a.m., I remembered we had to do this show. So no.
No.
The answer is no. No breakfast.
That's usually what keeps me from getting breakfast.
Well, I like to send a text about 20 minutes before the show. It's not necessarily like, hey, heads up, we're recording in 20 minutes. But I sent over the list of croissant questions. I like to do that 20 minutes before the show to be like, Chuck could probably start driving several minutes after receiving this and make it to my house.
Right.
Or John could make it to his computer.
Gentle nudge.
Gentle nudge. My breakfast was the same breakfast I feel like I've had every recording day recently. It's the same purest vegan donut from $5 Bakery. It's the same one. I know it's boring. Chuck, you did great show prep. You went and got a good breakfast.
Yeah, and I have gas now. I'm very farty.
Yeah, so I don't, but
good.
I'm sorry I had the same breakfast. I think I might need to start, maybe fictionalizing a little bit. Just maybe bring in a new breakfast story.
I had shark fin soup.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I want to give the real experience to our listeners, but also, when you just kind of elaborate on things, we call that podcasting.
Yeah.
So I need to maybe lean a little more on that. Anyway, those were our breakfasts. After our breakfasts, we move to our breakfast in bed apologies. This is our chance to make right what we might have gotten wrong on any previous episode. It is frequently, the first time we talk about the NBA. Do either of you guys have anything that you need to apologize for? Chuck, you seem eager, chomping at the bit.
I was on Twitter the other day, and I apologized for not being in Miami because something magical happened.
Oh, yeah?
Tyler Hero, Drip Lord.
Yeah.
Just put it out there. Where to eat in Miami?
Oh.
Guess who replies? Chad Ochocinco.
Oh, nice.
I said, where you at? And Hero says, pull up. I'm at the stadium or at the arena.
Yeah.
And I missed the ability to spy on the greatest bromance that could ever happen.
That is a good bromance.
Those two in the same town, I would, because it's big brother, little brother kind of situation, maybe an uncle, nephew kind of situation, age difference wise. But they're like
Seinfeld girlfriend
kind of situation. Shoshana Lowenstein. So
do we need to bleep that out? Is she still a minor?
No, she's 44 now. Has 3 kids. I looked her up. She's still smoking hot. But yeah, I really wish I was in Miami for that because I would have found them. I would have put out feelers. I would have asked chefs and bartenders where he at, and I would have showed up and I would have photoed with them, and I would have got dripped down And I'm mad that I didn't do that. So I'm sorry, Fast Break Breakfast.
That is that. I one another things that Chad Ochocinco has tweeted recently that caught my eye was Jimmy Butler. Ochocinco tweets at Jimmy Butler, says, "Are you in Miami? Can I get that one-on-one, or are you going to keep dodging me like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix?" And Jimmy Butler tweets, "ASAP, after I get a contract done, you'll be the first call. I want that foot race first, though, slow ass." That's good.
You think Jimmy's could touch Ochocinco now?
I don't know. Can a 30-year-old Jimmy Butler beat a... How old is Chad Johnson? 35? Johnson? John, how old do you think Chad Johnson is?
He's 38, 39.
He's 40 at least.
41, yeah.
41.
Oh, he's like,
no.
Yeah.
He's probably still as fast as he used to be.
He's 41. I could beat him in a foot race. I'm only 40, right?
That's it. Right.
I mean, Chad Johnson wasn't like a super fast
he was
NFL wide receiver.
That was TJ Hushmanzada.
What do you? I mean, Chad. No, you're thinking. Yeah, John. I think you're thinking of Hushmanzada. No, you're right. Chad Johnson wasn't like a.
He wasn't a burner.
Guy.
He wasn't Deshaun Jackson or. Whatever.
Actually, the internet is telling me right now he was a 4.57.
Okay, so in combine 4.5.
That's slow. Come on.
That's slow.
Yeah, that's like.
So he was a route runner.
That's like Travis Henry.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's the first. I tried to think of any NFL running back, and that's the first one that came to me.
Yeah.
Just a turtle. You think in terms of sire.
Oh, John, do you have an apology? I have a lot of apologies, so maybe I'll go last. You have anything you feel bad about, John, or you need to fix?
I mean, so I apologize to every excited Hawks fan I speak to, which is so many.
I'm excited.
Keep going.
I am just not excited for you.
So I don't know if you're even aware of this, but my episode on Monday with Jeff Siegel was about how the Hawks had a terrible offseason.
I was not aware of this, but I am in agreement.
Yeah, and the conceit of the episode was the Hawks have an exciting young core, but everything they did this year should just dampen the excitement, and it's like they just punted to next year. Maybe something good will happen.
Yeah.
And so I put this on Twitter, and I don't know if this is just the level of Twitter I've now hit. Like, I feel like the last 500 followers I got, they don't get it. Like, they don't get my tone or the things I tweet. Like, I feel like I've gotten more angry replies.
I'm going to say that's likely because we're 5 years in, and I am in the same boat.
But it's like the tip. it's like the tipping point.
What you're doing out there?
Yeah. The tipping point of followers where like they don't get either nuance or the fact that like everything is said with like a joke,
right? A wink.
But I was saying like they were like, "Oh, you think the Hawks aren't exciting? Well, ticket sales are up."
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's not the point. I'm happy the fan base is excited about their own team. That is a thing that happens.
Right.
You know, like it's cool that Hawks fans are like, oh, cool, we have Trae Young, that's great. John Collins, Kevin Huerter,
Cam Reddish.
That's awesome. Yeah, but it's like if you look at this offseason, like, oh, who's the best player you added?
Chandler Parsons,
Evan Turner,
Jabari Parker.
So yeah, it's like
Alex Damian Jones.
Yeah, so
it should be. This is like Rosemary's Baby level dread.
So like
Alien Crab.
Yeah.
Parker.
I love this.
It's very bad.
Carmina Burana version of the Hawks offseason. I was just saying, you have this young core, and yes, if there's an internal improvement, they'll be good. And this is what Jeff was saying, too. You know, he's still optimistic about all those guys, but if you replace, Dwayne Dedman, okay role player.
Right.
Kent Bazemore, okay role player. Mm-hmm. Taurean Prince, okay role player. Vince Carter, okay role player. Stretch big, as we found out.
Ew.
If you replace those guys with Evan Turner, Chandler Parsons,
Alan Crabb,
Alex Lynn is now promoted to starter. You've done nothing, yeah. or you're hoping that Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, Bruno Fernando. You're hoping rookies are coming in to replace that stuff.
I mean,
not excited.
Last year they built a solid team on 3 young guys, not a winning team,
right?
But a fun team to watch.
They scored 140 points per game over the last 12 games and gave up 148 per game, and it was a blast.
And it was
Trae Young and John Collins won multiple fantasy leagues for people.
Exactly,
just putting up massive numbers.
Fans are so hopeful and are really looking at that 7 or 8 seed, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
Well, it's not happening. Furthermore, every offseason, each team, unless you're like a contender or miraculously the Lakers, you're trying to do this like Dirty Dozen assemble a squad of ragtag dudes.
Right.
And you're just hoping that maybe, just maybe, you get like a Charles Bronson or John Cassavetes or someone that you can love. The Atlanta Hawks got all Telly Savalas rapists. The players they added are all the most degenerate, freaked out players that you could possibly add.
I don't know.
And how do you get excited about this?
Like, I was going to say this metaphor is incredible, and it's for our 15 up crowd.
Yeah.
That's right.
Here's my thing: if the reins are officially given to Trae Young and Collins and Herter, Hunter and Reddish are going to fill and not need to be superstars.
But
so then you have two guys who are productive on other teams in Jabari and Evan Turner, and they're going to score a bunch of points and be fun and exciting.
They could be fun.
I don't think it's, and then you might get Cancun, that one contract year Cancun come back.
It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen. But Alan Crabb is a solid role player.
I mean, Alan Crabb had a real tough year last year, but so he can bounce back. Maybe,
but he's a solid. I think he's got a solid skill set, and he's not gonna. I don't think they're gonna suck.
I do. I'm going all in. And this is the thing. It's we always save our over-unders until the very end of the summer. We try to do it right before the season.
Right.
And I've always stuck my head in the sand to avoid them.
Yeah.
It's impossible now. They're just everywhere. But I know right now I've seen 33 wins over-under for the Hawks. Oh my God. I would slam that under so hard.
Don't let
so
me
hard
stop
on the
you
under.
this time, Keith.
Yeah.
But what if Trae Young turns into the truth? What if he's a guy that can't be stopped and is scoring 28 a game?
If Trae Young turns into second year Russell Westbrook, they're going to win 32 games.
Even if,
yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. I'm going to do my apology. It's long.
Let me say my analogy first.
Yeah.
Wait, you have another one? Is this a
Yojimbo? Dirty Dozen one through the miracles. I found an analog.
Can you do an Ocean's 11 or something?
Fast and the Furious.
Thank you. Now we're talking.
Makes sense.
Oh man, our
Instead
listeners
of getting the litany of future stars that came from all the first Fast and Furious movie, you're stuck with the man behind Firefest, Ja Rule. You can't even get Ludacris. You're getting OG Ja Rule, and you got him in multiple instances. You've got
Ja Rule?
Evan Burner Turner and Chandler Parsons.
Jabari.
Oh, I keep forgetting the Jabari thing. I keep remembering like a mistake made on a drunken night. It's like, oh yeah, we did that too.
Jabari, player option year 2.
That's it. I mean, he scored. He scored a bunch of points last year.
I mean, he's a guy who, when I see him play, I'm always impressed. Like, whoa, that move was awesome.
On offense, he's something, but
I don't know how he. I don't know. Anyway,
it'll be fun.
My apology. I really screwed up my apology last week. To Sabrina Merchant, I was gloating that she was wrong. She was incredibly right. I thought she was talking about Brooke Lopez. In my just sheer stupidity, she keeps pointing out to me, no, you forget Mason Plumlee. It's not Brooke Lopez in 2008. Mason Plumlee in 2013 or 4, whenever he was drafted. The Brooklyn Nets did select Mason Plumlee in the first round with their own draft pick. Yeah. So I've made at least 8 or 9 errors.
Oh, and I piled on too yesterday.
And then we piled on.
My bad.
So Sabrina Merchant is correct. And then also, she pointed out another.
Nick Perkins?
Yeah, Nick Perkins. This is a great one. This is a mistake I'm not sad about. This is a great content mistake. In our game of scones last week, when we were doing Summer League player or fictional character from the world of Dashiell Hammett, Nick Perkins I put in the wrong column. So John had gotten a strike by saying that Nick Perkins was a Summer League player. I'm like, no, he's in the book Red Harvest, and John protested and said, I really don't remember that character.
So you sure you're not talking about The Great Gatsby? What are you talking about?
Yeah. So it turns out John was wrong. Nick Perkins played Summer League for the Lakers. I cut and pasted his name into the wrong column.
No, John was right. Say it.
John was right. Sabrina Merchant is much more intelligent than me, and I apologize.
Good.
This is a wonderful segment.
This is Anyway, so those were our breakfast in bed of apologies. We're going to save our croissant questionnaire. We're going to dump that in the back. We're going to go old school. We're going to go Fast Break Breakfast Season 3. We're going to go straight to our steak and eggs best thing. So, what's the steak and eggs? What's your steak and eggs? What's the best thing you saw in the last week?
What you got, John?
So for me, I am getting a kick out of like all the Team USA roster scenarios.
Yeah,
I don't care at all.
Like,
I'm so excited
we
about
are so desperate that, like, I'm not kidding. There are rumblings of bringing Carmelo Anthony back.
So that's a joke everyone is making. It should be a very serious thing. Carmelo Anthony is the greatest international basketball player, period, bar none.
You don't have to play defense?
He's like I feel like he changed the NBA with his international basketball USA being that big four.
Yeah.
He was a small forward. Everyone said Carmelo Anthony, perfect archetype small forward. And then he starts playing in the Olympics and they're like, oh my God. At the four, he's unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
I think he changed the whole NBA.
Because what is more European than watching a guy jab step 46 times during 24 seconds of a possession?
I feel like you're making I feel like that you should. I feel like that's the opposite. I feel like that's an American basketball thing. The European game based on the ball movement, the big guy shooting, the not holding the ball, not one-on-one play.
The non-parallelogram trapezoid, so intoxicating.
So, John, are you interested in this Team USA stuff? Because I am incredibly interested. I love the World Cup of basketball. I thought the last FIBA championship was incredibly exciting. Where do you stand?
So I'm of the no until yes persuasion, where I'm like, I don't think I'm into this, but then I'm so easily sucked into any conversation about international basketball that I'll find myself watching it.
I mean, as long as these NBA guys are actually going to play, and it seems like they are, Team Canada is going to rule. It's going to be super fun. You assume Team Slovenia is going to rock. The Serbian team should be amazing. They can roll out a team of pretty much 5 Bobans.
Yeah.
Right. It's weird that, like, even guys like Kevin Love and stuff are dropping out, though, to the point where it's going to be a lot of the conversation will be kind of watered down by the watered down.
Well, so a lot of the guys dropping out. I was surprised Kevin Love dropped out because people who I think should stay in.
Kevin Love.
People who have massive contracts already locked down. Like Chris Middleton, max extension just signed. Yeah, brother, go play international ball. There's no fallback.
If you give Paul George,
there's no fallback. Yeah. And Kevin Love, the same thing. Kevin Love, a guy who's been kind of off the national radar recently. Get back on that national radar.
Maybe you get a Snickers commercial.
Be a big hero for the U.S. So I was surprised he dropped out. I'm looking at the roster, and Woj just dropped the weakest Woj bomb, one of the weakest Woj bombs of the summer, saying they have invited J.J. Redick. Not that J.J. Redick is coming or dropped out. Just, he's been invited. And he even had a Reddit quote being like, well, I'm trying to get my family situated in New Orleans. We'll see. Like, why? Why is that in order?
What has changed
We've
about
been talking
USA?
About peak white privilege a lot. J.J. Redick is peak white privilege. How is that even a thing?
Where's
Joe Johnson at? Where's Big Three legend Joe Johnson?
Put
him on there.
Joe Johnson, Carmelo Anthony, Zach Randolph. Those are my 10, 11, 12 guys on my team.
Amari Stoudemire.
Stoudemire might have renounced his U.S. citizenship.
Jordan.
I'm not sure. What you were saying, Chuck?
What is what causes these things to happen? The shifts of every superstar wants to play, and then you can't even get a role player. JJ Redick's I'll think about it.
I think it's the natural cycle of this team was down, needed to be saved. It's gotten very good again. Now we're good again. There's no upside to it. It's all downside. I think it's gotten a little closer to the NBA season. It's going to be early September. It's in China.
Yeah.
Which is a long way away. Not everyone's clamoring. You're like, hey, you want to go to Spain or Central Europe somewhere with beaches? Maybe there's the beaches in China. I don't know where in China. I should maybe find out.
Yeah.
But I think that's some of it. There's no LeBron James saying, hey, come play with me.
Right.
Now it is Kimball Walker.
That's what
Kimball Walker doesn't have the same gravitas.
That's what I'm thinking. Is it because of is it like a movie, right? Where a bunch of actors are agreed to sign up for a script that they like, but if the lead isn't who they want, they're not going to, take a part. Is it something? I'm just curious as the psychology behind these guys wanting and not wanting to play.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot that has to do with the superstars wanting to rest and its proximity to the season and all that. But it's still kind of, it just strikes me as weird how it's seasonal, how it goes in. There's seasons of great patriotism and everybody wants to go and play for USA, and then you can't get Kevin Love.
Yeah, we got Beijing, Shanghai,
Macau,
Guangzhou. I don't know. I'm saying that, and then Dongguan. Dongguan.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, I don't think those people are that as excited about. I don't know.
Right.
But I'm looking at this roster, and so they have. I feel like the guards have to stay. You gotta have Kemba Walker and Kyle Lowry just because you don't have any other point guards. I think Chris Middleton has got to stay, and then you got to keep a couple centers. You got Drummond, Miles Turner, Brook Lopez. I would assume Donovan Mitchell's going to stay because he's a young rising star, and he keeps saying he's going to represent the guy. I don't feel like they would cut him.
Yeah, but
then you have this glut of like forwards: Harrison Barnes, Kyle Kuzma, Millsap, Jason Tatum, PJ Tucker, Marcus Smart, Thaddeus Young. Harrison Barnes, did I say that? I think I said that. Paul Millsap.
I mean,
which one of these guys? They got to cut 4. Who are you throwing out? I'm throwing out. I think easy cut. Kuzma, by far the worst player of all these, but he's like the only Laker.
Yeah, he's the Lakers boy.
So
I don't know. It's an interesting. I just Googled Team USA stuff, and there's a Ringer article, "The Life Cycle of Team USA Basketball."
Well, there you go.
So I'll read that.
Breaking news. Shams Charania, who's been having a terrible offseason.
Been getting dunked on.
Shams Charania has started tweeting like NBA team PR emails come out, and then he tweets
sources.
League source says. He started doing the grifting move, as some of my buddies call it. He started doing like the fake Woj bombs. But anyway, Montrezl Harrell and Mason Plumlee have been added to the USA basketball training camp. I don't know. I feel like a lot of this is.
Can you hear me blinking?
Yeah. A lot of this is like this thing. Hey, do you want us to fly you to Vegas for a few days? Cool, I guess so.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like a guy like Brad Beal. Like Brad Beal dropped out. He dropped out citing the birth of his child. Sure, of course.
Tight.
His baby's expected in 5 weeks. Did you not know it was coming? Like, what's up with the 5 weeks before being like, oh, yeah, you know what? I should not do this. I should probably be here for when my son is born in 5 weeks.
So a quick perusal of this Ringer article. There is a 16-year cycle. We only lost the gold 3 times, 72, 88, and 2004. Guess what's coming up?
Oh, it's next. But that's the goal in 2020.
Okay.
So this is the qualification for the Olympics. Oh. Although I guess this counts because they lost that world championship.
They did.
It was in maybe Indianapolis or something.
Yeah.
The Larry Brown year.
Yeah.
The Carmelo and LeBron and Dwayne Wade, you guys are on the bench. Mm-hmm. Steph Marbury, you got it, brother. Anyway, this has been a long USA basketball segment.
I hate USA basketball.
No,
really? I think we shouldn't use NBA players.
Is this like one of those things where you just don't know anything, so you say you hate it?
No, I think that we should use amateurs if we're going to have.
I would love to do like maybe an under 25,
or the
we should use amateurs
under 25 over 35.
This is a hot take.
I want to reverse. I want to reverse protections.
I don't like professionals playing in the Olympics or amateur activities like that. Team USA stuff.
But this is the World Cup.
I hated. I love the Dream Team, but I hated what they did. It wasn't even fun to watch.
You didn't love watching Jokic rip apart the U.S. team like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Come on now. Serbia almost beat them.
Yeah.
I'm calling it out. I just think Chuck has no idea.
Who's the...
what do you mean? They're all NBA players.
Bielitsa? The Bielitsa breakout summer of 2017? You don't remember where you were?
Bielitsa.
Ginobili's greatest moment does not happen for the Spurs.
Look, I love Oscar Schmidt as much as anybody else.
Okay, I stand down.
John, what's your... no, sorry. That was your best thing. Chuck, what's your best thing?
My best thing is you, Keith. What? Out here scooping fast break breakfast all over the front page of Reddit, on Yahoo, Twitter. Everything is Keith's handiwork. Breaking news about Memphis Grizzlies jerseys going back to the throwbacks for the Vancouver days. And man, Keith, you did
Walk
it.
us
Congrats.
through it, Keith.
I can't.
He can't.
I can't really.
Woodward and Bernstein of
No, there's
of
no
NBA
deep throat.
Twitter.
I can't really.
Who's the deep throat?
I can't really. No, so
Can I
all
make
that,
some
all that
guesses
happened,
and you just remain silent? Remain silent
No.
if I name your source.
I was giving specific
I've
instructions.
cut your
Say
feed, John.
nothing. Just okay. I can stammer uncontrollably
You're-
if I name your source.
You're on the Skype very easily muted. all that happened was people on NBA Twitter were talking about the Vancouver jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
The score tweeted out like a Photoshop of John Morant. John Morant said, "Let's happen." I reached out to somebody and said, like, "Hey, seriously, what are you waiting for? like when will the Grizzlies do this? It seems like an easy win." And they were like,
"You can't tell anybody."
They were like, "I think it's happening." I was like, "Oh, can I tell people?" And then they were like, "Okay." and that was about it.
And that's beautiful. Because it's not. I mean, you're not breaking any CBA rules. You're not out here Uncle Dennison the situation. There was a piece of beautiful information that the internet ate up.
They just wanted it.
No, man, that's such a great jersey. It's one of my favorite photos I've ever taken.
So
that Vancouver
Chuck,
Grizzlies.
you pointed out, what was the top Reddit comment?
Oh, the top Reddit comment was incredible. The top Reddit comment came from Rusty Springfield, a Blazer fan, who said, "It's like murdering someone, then wearing their skin."
Oh, I mean, is that so? It's a weird situation,
right?
Where if the Grizzlies do wear a jersey that says Vancouver on it, it's not unprecedented,
right?
Like the Lakers wore those Minneapolis jerseys,
yeah.
But it is weird. I feel like it's a unique situation because the Vancouver jerseys were worn for so little amount of time, and no one saw them with their eyes. Yeah. Like I'm aware a Vancouver team existed.
I never watched.
I'm almost certain I never once saw the Vancouver Grizzlies play basketball.
Yeah,
people love those jerseys.
No, I'm saying people love those jerseys, but people in Vancouver who have their feelings hurt, much like people in Memphis hate like the Tennessee Titans.
They hate the Titans.
That's one of the reasons, that's added to like the fuel of the fire, why there's like resentment, the Memphis to Nashville beef.
Also, Nashville is a much better city. That really hurts Memphis.
I mean,
but I might have to bleep that out.
Point
Chuck is joking, everyone. But the it is weird. Like I recognize that it's painful.
Yeah.
But it's like when the teams move, it does seem like they are actually the franchise. I don't know. Are there other examples of this? Someone was telling me the Hartford Whalers jerseys were worn by like some hockey team. John, can you fill in the blanks for me there?
I really can't, but any analogy that has me mentally imagining the Grizzlies as an entity tucking their penis and testicles between their legs and saying something like, "Wait, is she a great big fat person?" That's just something that heartens me, and maybe I should get on Reddit more.
You shouldn't. Stay away.
Yeah, you really shouldn't. My best thing. So many good things going on.
Just to tag on that Vancouver thing, teal is the best thing about being a Miami Dolphins fan.
Oh, Miami's Dolphins jerseys are amazing.
They're always great. The greatest color scheme for the worst logo. And I think teal is just beautiful. Brings out the color of my eyes.
There's nothing wrong with trying to squeeze that helmet onto that little blowhole head. There's nothing wrong with it.
My best thing is that it's just it's one of the subplots of the summer. It's just brothers teaming up.
Oh man,
I loved the Lopez's getting back together.
Could do a whole episode on the Bucks.
Justin Holiday just joining his buddy, his brother Aaron Holiday. I love that stuff. I don't understand the fit really for the Pacers, but I am all for these guys teaming up.
So when you get older, you want to be around your brothers, right?
I don't know.
Oh, not mine. He's a heroin addict.
I have nothing against my brother. We're on very good terms, but I can't say I have.
Wait, you have a brother, Keith?
Yeah, I have an older brother.
Oh man,
Ahmed Haddadi.
Yeah, he looks a lot like Hamed Haddadi.
I forgot.
He is a 6'4" American version of Hamed Haddadi.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know, but I would love to see. I mean, we got to get the Morais back together,
right? Yeah, I feel like maybe if I was a millionaire, I would want to hang out with my sibling more.
Oh, yeah, you think so?
Yeah,
that's what's holding you back?
Well, especially if I was a millionaire and also my brother was.
Yeah, like if we're just two millionaires
with
doing
no
whatever we
wants.
want, then maybe, just maybe, I could tolerate my family members.
Well,
it's weird how money makes you happier.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right, let's swap it up to the opposite of the steak and eggs, the cream of wheat, the worst of week. What's the worst thing you saw going on? I'll go.
Sorry,
I'll fill in the silence. My worst thing.
Red silence.
This could be best thing as well. It is the universally lauded general managers of successful NBA franchises flexing on the rest of these people by signing some garbage players.
Yeah.
Masai Ujiri responding to Kawhi Leonard leaving and winning the championship to being like, you know what my next challenge is going to be? Give me Stanley Johnson. Give me Cameron Payne.
Champagne campaign.
Give me Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Yeah. They're just loading it out. And so our boy Daryl Morey sees that. And he's like, oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You thought it was weird last summer?
Yeah.
When I brought in Michael Carter-Williams? You thought I could not exploit the market inefficiency of a guy who's terrible? Hey, Anthony Bennett and Ben McLemore, why don't you come join the Houston Rockets?
Wow.
What are they doing?
I don't know. There's a lot of people who like their moves.
They have. I think. Do they still have Deontay Davis too?
I don't know.
I think they have Deontay Davis and Ben McLemore, 2/5 of the Grizzlies' 2016 summer to savor.
That was a bad year.
On the Rockets right now. This is after trading 2 first-round picks and 2 pick swaps to turn Chris Paul into Russ Westbrook.
Mm-hmm. Gerald Green just got signed.
He's fine. What Ben McLemore best case scenario? Poor man's Gerald Green, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
I mean, the
even.
parallels are everywhere except for Ben McLemore never did anything in a dunk contest and was a terrible 3-point specialist.
Wasn't McLemore in a dunk contest? Wasn't that one of those weird things that I have no memory of?
I think he came out with Shaq's for some reason.
It's wild.
That's weird.
He wore like a crown.
I don't know. The NBA world, a lot of people that I forget who, but some people have written that the Rockets are the team to come out of the West, or they're going to have the best record in the West.
Man, I thought they were a sneaky good pick, but I keep looking at their roster and I'm just like, what?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, I'll see. We'll see what, because for as much as we give Russell crap, D'Antoni does magic with point guards. So whatever's left in his tank, I think D'Antoni's going to maximize it on the offensive end. What you're going to get on defense might not be as great as what you get with Chris Paul. But, I mean, if this puts a turbocharger on a guy who just averaged 3 triple-doubles a year, I don't know. It may be a crazy offense that scores 120 points a game.
D'Antoni is a lame duck coach.
Yeah,
I think he's old. He's older than Clint Eastwood.
I don't think he's real.
I don't know if Mike D'Antoni is looking at the roster, being like, "Who we got? Oh, we got Ben McLemore. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to put in extra time tonight to squeeze every last drop out of the Ben McLemore Russell Westbrook combo." I think D'Antoni's like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, I make $5 million a year. I can retire next year. Sweet. This is good."
He sure gets a lot of credit for Steve Nash and Jeremy and one summer of Jeremy Lin.
I mean,
he turned Kendall Marshall into a fantasy stud.
He did.
Like 16 and 9 or something. I can't remember what his averages were.
I guess I'm just not ready I'm not ready for that to be a laurel that can be rested upon.
I just think it's proven that if you put a new point guard with Mike D'Antoni, it turns into a thing offensively.
It's like when it used to be, this big guy's been working with Hakeem in the offseason.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he would get like 0.6 more blocks per game. This is nothing.
Causation and correlation are weird. But in my head, D'Antoni's a point guard whisperer.
Might be. D'Antoni's a guy I feel like I just go up and down. Where it's like, wow, he did this and this and this.
Right.
And then it's like, wow, I don't know if he
run a whole lot of point guard specific pick and roll sets. Yes.
Yeah. Then I don't know what that would change for their offense or how that changed Russ's game. But, I mean, if it works, it works. Yeah.
No, that's fine. John, what's your you got a worst thing?
So for me, basically, I can't look at Twitter right now because I can't look at any more fake John Wall trades. Like I can't. Like I'll die because.
Do you see any that make sense? I haven't seen any that have crept across my timeline that I even.
It's no, and it's so great. It's like impeach Trump tweets. It's like this fantasy.
Oh yeah,
that's almost a darkness to it.
When does Mueller talk again? He'll probably get him next time.
Yeah, that's it.
Like it's just like stop doing it. Like it's bad for us as a culture to pretend that John Wall's contract can be traded. It's bad for us to have these types of like lucid pipe dreams.
Yeah.
Waking fantasies that can never happen.
So
I mean, but who is fantasizing? The Wizards to get off the contract? Yeah. I guess.
So sorry, what are you saying, Charlie?
No, it's weird to watch Wall being packaged along with Beal, like they're trying to get rid of Wall. Like Beal is the way you can get Wall off the team.
It does seem like there's some momentum to this. Brad Beal maybe once is going to ask out.
Yeah.
And then if you get the Thunder, or you get even a bunch of teams, the Nuggets, who can package a couple picks, say, here, take Malik Beasley, take whoever else, maybe a trade gets done. And that's like the big next thing
if
in
you're
the
a Wizards
NBA.
fan, why don't you focus on the fantasy that has a slight chance of happening? Like maybe Beal accepting an extension.
Right. So,
one step at a time.
So here's the thing. John Wall is universally regarded as having the worst contract in the NBA.
Now that he's injured. Yeah.
He is 28. Kevin Durant has signed the exact same contract as John Wall, is 2 years older.
Has a worse injury.
30 years older. I mean, they're both recovering from torn Achilles.
Is it both Achilles? Oh, I thought
so John Wall, Kevin Durant, the exact same injury. Kevin Durant is 2 years older, and is later in a timeline, is months behind in the recovery timeline.
Way more basketball,
but no one except this podcast has ever questioned. I'm kidding. I'm assuming some people have. But it seems like a little bit more has been like, this Kevin Durant thing is a gamble. It's a big gamble for the Nets.
Huge.
I don't know. I just feel like I'm not disputing the John Wall contract is terrible.
Right.
Because he was kind of tailing off before he got hurt. Like before he got hurt, that contract was like, this is not a good.
He had that picture too,
contract. He was the bloated Team USA photo from the year before. There's been rumors that he likes to party. He's not about that,
super
monk
dedicated
asceticism of like a Jimmy Butler,
right?
Who's just killing his body.
Right. He's more Kyrie.
But you put him with Kyrie,
right?
Who has some of the same whispers that around him. I don't know.
Likes the booger sugar.
I know that, yes, Kevin Durant was maybe the best player in the NBA before the injury, and that is the obvious gigantic difference.
Right.
Yeah,
Kevin Durant's 7 foot and can shoot 3-pointers.
I'm in White House press secretary mode, trying to figure out how to walk this back. Durant is just awesome again, and John Wall is back to being,
I mean, I know. So, like, the Nets signing Kevin Durant, it's like buying a PSL, a pure season ticket holder. You're like, for the right to purchase season tickets, I have to put down $40 million for this one season where I get nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's a good investment.
I mean, to win one championship, I think it changes. For the Nets to win a championship in New York, it changes the whole city's ecosystem when it comes to fandom. And Brooklyn is could in the next 15 years supplant the Knicks as the premier team in the city. I mean, that's something that could happen before we, stop podcasting today. Almost that team is so bad in Madison Square Garden that the Nets are like, okay, we have a chance if we get this guy, we can supplant the Knicks in their complete stupidity in their front office and ownership and become the team. And I think that's their goal, and that's what Durant was for him, and they pitched that to him.
No, and that's an awesome point, Chuck. Yeah. If you ignore basketball completely,
right?
If you're just doing like SimCity NBA franchise,
right?
And you're like, oh, should I invest $200 million in a guy with a torn Achilles, and maybe my value of my franchise grows by $1 billion,
right? Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, it gives them the opportunity to just bury the Knicks. The Knicks have survived with fans. People who I respect as basketball minds are still Knicks fans That's not going to last long if there's a team within subway ride winning a championship.
I like it. If I think about the basketball players as flesh and blood human beings, I don't love it. If I reduce them to a set of ones and zeros,
yes,
I
data
like
points, man. That's what they all are.
I
What
like
are you,
it.
about size 12?
Oh, all right. Those were our cream of wheat worst weeks. I think for the rest of the show, for as much time as John Burr has and we all have, we're going to do some listener submitted questions from our Patreon supporters. If you want to submit your questions, you got to become a Patreon supporter. You do that by going to patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. We put up some bonus content there. I put up a Grizzlies podcast episode last week. We also, you get a discount on buying these Bull Band and John Wick shirts if you want to buy them from me. I've sent some shirts to Australia, to Canada, to Mexico. Let's go, people.
International,
Listen,
boy.
here's how awesome our listeners are. I said, hey, you want a nice Bowman shirt? You want a nice John Wick shirt? $20 shipping included, U.S. only. And I had people say, no. What does it cost to get me that shirt in Australia? And I said, oh, all right, let's make this happen.
Yeah.
Shut
I
up,
thought you were
Graham.
going to be like, said, no, I want it for 19, 18.
Yeah. I will negotiate. Hey, if you're broke,
come at me.
I got to say, selling these shirts, we're not making any money. I mean, the margins are
marketing
so
technique.
slim.
Yeah.
I definitely, if I could mail the thing from my house, I'd make like $1. But driving to the post office,
Literally losing
there
money.
goes all the profits.
I've been selling shirts with my song lyrics on it for over 5 years and think I turned a profit on like year 4.5.
There you go. But anyway, if you want a Bull Bench shirt, if you're a Patreon supporter, they're $15. That includes shipping. If you're not a Patreon supporter, $20. That includes shipping
Also,
to the U.S.
the Slack chat that we have is a curated ecosystem that is full of beautiful, brilliant basketball minds. And one of those minds is Joe Yoder.
Oh, yeah.
Joey Oder.
Well,
Stinky.
Chuck, we got to get the song, though. So anyway, if you want to get in with all of our Patreon and support and submit your questions, go to patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. And now, our listener questions. The croissant questionnaire.
Any questions?
Yes. Are you going to finish that croissant?
Knock yourself out.
That croissant. Finish that croissant. That croissant.
Joe Yoder writes, first of all, shout out Joe Yoder's podcast, Ball Handler. Is it Handlers?
I think it's ball handlers.
Ball Handlers. Ball Ticklers.
It already is a sexual
It's
reference,
a
John.
you don't need to overdo it. It's a great 10, 15-minute long podcast of one of my favorite
Comedians in
basketball-
Cars with Coffee link.
Yes.
Perfect.
Joe Yoder.
15 feels like 50.
If you know Joe Yoder, you love him. Listen to Joe. He's one of the funniest dudes, and he knows basketball, and it's hilarious. So watch him. Also, he's
been ducking Chuck on a rap ground Chuck for months.
No,
I think he's scared.
I
Rap
pitched
battle.
We're doing a Ball Handlers Fast Break Breakfast collabo. I pitched him a rap NBA rapper, and then I didn't follow through. But he texted me yesterday. We got a good plan. I know me. Who would even?
He's afraid.
Think?
I've been privy to this. He's afraid.
He's not
and
afraid
he
of
should
me.
be.
Well, here we go.
Chuck's
Joe Yoder,
greatest NBA rapper.
the greatest NBA rapper is Dame Lillard.
No, he's clean rapper. He's terrible.
No, he's not. He's fine. He's fine.
Shaq Fu all day.
No, that was like a Nickelodeon. Fushnikins was a Nickelodeon Tribe Called Quest. They sucked. John, get your stuff right.
Respect.
Shaq at least I'll ask Kobe how that butt tastes.
Allen Iverson
Dame
probably
Lillard won't even drop ASS.
Okay.
All I know is the Shaq at the EDM festival was a delight. That video was a delight.
Shaq rocking out to EDM break beats is one of my favorite
That's
things.
funny. Anyway,
Shaq
what's
with
our
mosh
question?
What?
We had a question from Joe Yoder.
Joe Yoder asked 15 questions.
Let's do some of the
So
Joe
we'll
Yoder
keep it in the
segment.
music world. If you could start a music
Stinky
group of
questionnaire.
any genre with 2 NBA players, who do you pick?
Yaz Guitar, Wayman Tisdale.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P.
Santeria Voodoo, Bizendelli.
Ooh.
Oh,
wow.
R.I.P.
Could you just
R.I.P.
pick live people? I'm going, I want to start a flamenco band with the Gasol brothers.
Oh, perfect.
That's it.
Perfect.
Just travel through Catalonia.
Put the one tiny one on the bongos.
Right, they have a small
There's a
one.
tiny Gasol brother?
Is there a tiny Gasol?
Yeah, there's a tiny one.
I'm sure. Well, he's probably 6'3".
He looks. No, do you remember the photo? Because it's like Mark and Powell, and then there's the tiny one who looks exactly like a tiny Spanish Mike Conley.
No.
And there's a lot of jokes about it. Some very funny jokes. Anyway, I choose Robin Lopez and Kawhi Leonard. We'll figure out the genre once we get in the studio.
Mumblecore.
Yeah, that works. That works for me.
Normcore.
Like a TV on the radio, maybe. Kind of.
Yeah.
Something. All right. What's we got another Yoder?
Yeah, we got another one
Yoder
here.
bomb?
Steve Ballmer Screamo.
What team do you think will increase their wins the most from last season to this?
Don't have any of that type of stuff in front of me, but I'll say the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, so the Dallas Mavericks, John, won 33 games last year. How many games do you think they're winning?
42.
All right, so a nine game increase.
Yeah,
That's a lot of faith in the white race.
And that's a playoff win.
Well,
or
got
playoff.
to stay on brand.
Man, they are full on European.
And by on brand, I mean swastika tattoo.
Who do you think, Chuck? I think I'm going to say a few. But.
I think that the Heat are going to do much better this year. They're going to win about 7 or 8 games.
The Heat won 39 games last year.
They're going to be a 47-win team.
All right, you guys are.
Whoa.
I got several. I'm going to start at the bottom. The Phoenix Suns won 19 games. They're going to be bad.
Yeah.
But I feel like Ricky Rubio is like a
floor.
He's like a floor. He's a big floor raiser.
Yeah, like a 30-win
So I
floor.
think they could totally win 29 games.
Yeah.
That's a 10-game increase. I think this team, I don't know if you've heard about them, the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, they were really bad.
They might be better.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Yeah.
They won 37 games last year. I think penciling them in for a 10-game increase is reasonable. I think a 40.
Yeah.
I think that's on the low end. That might be where I'm at personally. I think they could win 10 more games.
Just Tom Chambers dunked all over us.
I'm also pretty happy with the Bulls offseason. And again, they won 22 games last year. I think they could win 10 more games easily.
God, Chuck and I went with the most embarrassing.
Yeah.
I went with white people, and then Chuck just blurted out Miami.
I will
Heat.
always think the Heat will win 10 games more than they won last year.
That's right.
Always. But this.
So the Heat are going to win 49 games this week.
Well, that's what I'm hearing from Chuck.
You're
That's
here
what I'm saying. Write it down. No. So here we go. Patrick Kirkner asked, given your lifetime peak level of skill and athleticism, how tall would each of you have to had grown to get a summer league invite?
Amazing question.
2.
Great question.
11'2" for John.
Yeah, I'd have to be a solid 7-footer.
A solid 7.
Even get
at the
call.
peak of your physical prowess, do you think
Bruh,
7? You need 7 feet.
So in 9th grade was the only time I ever ran a 40.
Okay,
and I ran a 4 ever.
It's a good joke.
Yeah. So
comedian Chuck Anderson.
Yeah, I'm just not I'm good in. I could probably do the 3-cone drill well. I have good quick feet, but a straight line speed I got none. And hops, just no. I bought those lift shoes in high school. Never could dunk.
So
I could get a tennis ball close.
I think, and this is probably completely incorrect or completely delusional. I think if I was like 6'11", maybe 6'10", even.
Yeah.
If I had gone, and this is obviously baking in, like if I was 6'11", at some point I would have started practicing basketball a lot.
Right.
So I don't know if he means like if you took our actual literal best skill we ever got at basketball. Right. Yeah, probably I need to be at least 7 feet tall. But I feel like if I was 6'10", and then I took that direction with my life, I could definitely have been invited to Summer League one time.
John,
and done terribly.
You've got bad feet at 6'4". I think you're pretty doomed going.
I think a lot of that was playing Ultimate Frisbee and Walmart cleats for 8 years. I'm curious what my life would have turned out like if I had not run multiple, like dozens and dozens of miles every summer in bad shoes.
Champion cleats.
Yeah.
I do think if you're like over 7 feet tall, you have a Paul Shirley's chance in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't think it takes.
We're
a
talking
whole lot.
summer league.
I mean, I have no leaping ability, and I'm pretty slow.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I've always had pretty good coordination. I've been a good defender every time I played basketball. I feel like I could have. I feel like
would
maybe I could have
qualify
gotten
Keith's
one
skill
summer.
set as annoying
Yeah.
in basketball.
I bailed 9th grade to play football because I figured out I couldn't really jump. And then what I did, though, was follow our team's varsity basketball team who ended up winning state championship that year. I just followed them. I went to every game, and I would heckle the other team, but in a pleasurable, funny way. You know, I would make fun of somebody's shoes or haircut or whatever. And the coach of the team ended up asking me to travel with them. So I was like part of the team. I would eat at the team meals after.
Chuck's been a mascot his whole life.
I was a mascot. I basically would go with this team and just scream just funny things when somebody would make a mistake on the other squad, whatever. And that was my job.
I've been thinking about this really hard now for at least 1 minute. I'm going to revise mine and say 7'4".
Yeah,
I think maybe
I have to be
I don't have to be freaking like maybe like I'm projecting too much in like a fantasy world. Like if I had devoted years 16 through 24, I would have really gotten good at some certain skills. Maybe
Keith tries so hard in basketball.
Yeah, I have those things
so many
going
huge
for me.
guys. I'm just like, just try.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just try.
Let's what else we got from the croissant questionnaire?
Love Kebab 69 asks, who are some bench guys that you think will make the leap to starter this year?
This question is difficult because you have stuff like Terry Rozier.
Yeah, who now is a starter in Charlotte.
Oh yeah, so
I feel like that's not the spirit.
I think
of the question.
he means who's going to make. Is Terry Rozier going to make a leap in any form?
Yeah,
I feel like, and Mike
who becomes
D'Antoni
a starter?
He will have more points. Yes.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like our Blazer boys are hoping Zach Collins.
Yeah.
Collins, 6th man of the year?
They're starting 4, I think. They don't have anybody unless they're starting Pau Gasol and Hassan Whiteside.
A vote for Zach Collins is really a vote against Hassan Whiteside.
Well, this is my point. I'm tagging on to that. Hassan Whiteside's never averaged more than 26 minutes a game in his career.
Right.
If starter minutes are 30 plus.
Wait, Hassan Whiteside? That's not true.
He's never averaged.
I thought he averaged that season. He averaged like 14 rebounds a game.
26 minutes.
I thought it was 30 minutes. With some. All right.
I'm almost
look
positive.
this up and tell me I'm wrong.
almost positive he never averaged more than 26 minutes a game. This was something I kind of remembered. But if he can get 30 plus minutes a game, where's he at?
32.6 minutes per game.
And he had 29.
And that's why he averaged 17 and 14.
I think he averaged 26 minutes. He did. He averaged 26 minutes a game.
Oh, in his career.
In his career. So that's why I made my mistake. But yeah, if he can get 32 minutes a game, that year he averaged 14 rebounds, 17 points, and 5 blocks. Come on.
No, that's not true.
Wait.
You're looking at something wrong. He's never averaged 5 blocks.
2.1. I think 2.1. My bad.
This was a segment.
I'm looking at his per 36
of Chuck's uses basketball reference.
I'm just figuring out where it is.
We need to make this a regular segment.
Chuck uses basketball reference.
Chuck looked at 5 blocks a game and was like, that's pretty good.
No, it wasn't blocks.
Mark
either.
Eaton here.
That was his
who was
offensive
7'4"
rebound.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like we really missed the Mark Eaton Keith parallels. That's the perfect. You'd be a great Mark Eaton.
If he let his hair grow and like put that headband on. Yeah.
Yes. I'm trying to think of some other bench guys who aren't just young players.
I mean, Fred VanVleet.
Well, Fred VanVleet had the huge breakout in the playoffs.
But he's not going to start over Lowry.
He's going to start over Danny Green. He might start aside
too. Yeah.
I feel like
is this an opportunity based thing? Or are you talking about leaps like? Because there's a difference. There's like this guy's going to have a different opportunity, and then there's like, what if Mo Bamba becomes good?
Right.
Yeah, there's all those second-year players.
Yeah.
I'm going to do an opportunity-based one who isn't necessarily a starter. I think Derek Favors on the Pelicans as starting center could have a breakout season. And at the very least, his Q level is going to go way up.
Pretty good.
People are going to know about him.
Derek Favors.
I think similarly, like Kelly Oubre on the Suns. Could continue like another like, wow, this guy really puts up really good numbers.
Yeah, he's definitely going to raise them from 19 wins to 30.
True.
along with Oubre. What if the Suns are awesome again? What if they have their Eric Bledsoe Dragic bump once again, projected to win like 26 games and end up with 38? Let's do another question.
Oh,
Here, I got one.
I got on Basketball Reference.
Okay, yeah, John, go. John, go.
Young Hueva asks, which old washed-up player do you want playing on your team next season?
Well, Chuck already has Udonis Haslem.
I got UD, who is our mascot.
Yep.
He's there for aesthetic purposes only. And he is, if a fight ever breaks
there
out.
for the culture. Yeah. John, I feel like ours are going to be the same, likely, as Grizzlies fans.
Mine's not.
Okay, well, mine's just Zach Randolph. Put Zach Randolph on any team, and that is my favorite team.
I want the insanity and the mystery of Kentavious Caldwell Pope near my team.
Really?
I want to know what, why, how, where. I want to dig deeper on why this guy gets paid and gets laid this far into his career.
He's got street cred.
He is allowed to leave the state of California, I believe.
Now he is.
Between him and DeAndre Jordan are the two guys where I'm like, why are they the straws that stir the drink?
DeAndre, I get because he's tall and can jump and
wears a horse mask.
I don't really get it.
It's a horse mask thing.
Kyrie and Kevin Durant being like, you know what? Let's give $40 million of our dollars to this guy. Yeah. That is what?
Can I do a young washed up player and do Emmanuel Mudiay?
Mudiay, oh, he's a Jazz.
Dante Exum.
He's the understudy to our conductor, Mike
Serious
Conley.
Answer, I guess I would say Thaddeus Young.
Thad Young's not washed up.
He's not washed.
He might be.
He's been passed around a lot.
Well, he's definitely not at his peak.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess. I love Thad Young.
I hope the Bulls don't break Thad Young. I love Thad Young.
The Bulls might be spicy.
Here's a question also from Young Hueva I wanted to answer. What has been your favorite part of this off season? Doesn't have to be basketball related.
Mark Cuban holding your shirt.
That's pretty good.
That was the best thing. I'd send it to my mom. She has no idea anything about basketball, but she watches Shark Tank.
Yeah.
So I watched that Theranos documentary on the flight home from LA. And they use Mark Cuban's name, billionaires, as a pejorative.
Yeah.
In a way that I didn't know. So Mark Cuban apparently is just a lucky man.
Yeah.
Well, is
not a brilliant billionaire by any stretch. Like in the billionaire hierarchies,
right.
Mark Cuban is apparently very low.
He's a laughable billionaire.
They're like, he's like a Mark Cuban type. Just
but
right
he's
place,
supposed
right
to
time.
be the Silicon Valley character guy.
Right.
Who's always in the sports car? Who I can't remember his actor's name.
Yeah.
Who's like clearly they're making fun of an airheaded
a guy who lucked his way into his billion.
I think it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't think he lucked his way in. I think he just caught the wind.
I mean, he obviously
had
nailed
a building.
some things.
He built the thing. He built the broadcast.com, which was
right.
sold to Yahoo, and it was like
so
20
what did he
million.
did he's like movie phone.
No, he did like
he made an app that tells you when to go to the bathroom
Winamp player
during
or
a
something.
movie.
Yeah, he basically pioneered online audio streaming for sports.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is a thing,
and now we don't have Reddit NBA streams,
right? And it's Mark Cuban's fault.
There's a good one. Someone let me know about the good one.
Oh yeah,
to watch archived games. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my original worst, Keith. I tried to go before our giant dead air silence. I tried to go watch some Summer League stuff and catch up.
The link is pinned in our Patreon only Slack.
Okay, because they just make it unavailable.
Yeah, it's on, which is weird.
Yeah,
I couldn't figure out a way to do it, but it's available. My answer: I'm watching TV shows and movies, and I love it,
dude.
I love it.
I love it.
I've been watching From Earth to the Moon on HBO.
Jesus Christ!
It rules, man.
I just watched
the cast in that thing is amazing.
What's it about?
It's like you don't have enough enough white achievement in your life. Watch a mockumentary about fake white achievements.
Yeah. It's a dramatization. It's not a mockumentary. No, it's a Tom Hanks produced and Graham Yost produced HBO miniseries from 20 years ago, and they re-released it. But everyone in it is famous white man. Like. It is extreme dad entertainment.
Okay.
Like it's extreme dad entertainment. But I'm loving it. And I had a moment of panic as I was watching this, and it's long. It's like 24 hours. It's like 12, or maybe it's less. Maybe it's 12 hours. But it's a lot of episodes, and I was working my way through them, and like I know some about the moon, but like you forget stuff. You don't remember what
there's a sea of tranquility.
There's a ton of stuff, yeah, ton of stuff. But anyway, the Saturday night movie on HBO was First Man, about the moon landing.
Right.
Had a brief breakdown.
Did you?
Frozen, paralyzed, unsure what to watch. Like, well, am I supposed to finish From Earth to the Moon? That's going to take me a month before I watch this moon landing movie that I wanted to see.
And it could be off.
You can skip First Man.
So here's what I did, John. I decided I would enjoy First Man more if I knew less. So I'm like, I haven't made it to the moon landing and From Earth to the Moon. I'm going to go ahead and punch out First Man.
And you were wrong.
No, I enjoyed it just fine. I did get the feeling this was intended not to be watched at home. Because I think like if I was watching this in IMAX, I would have been like, "Oh, this is overwhelming. Everything's shaking and it's very loud."
Keith, spoiler, no.
Okay,
it's just bad.
I thought it was fine.
Very unimpressive filmmaking by.
But there are long segments of just shaky camera, can't hear anything. Like I get it, we're in a rocket. All right, yeah. I get it. It's disorienting. But
I recently found a Twitter thread about peeing in space.
Yeah. Oh, that thread's incredible.
What an amazing thread.
That thread's amazing.
There's some real storytelling for you.
Yeah. It's kind of
honestly, HBO should release that.
There should just be a documentary about urination.
That is
poop.
the letdown of every space movie. Is it doesn't answer my questions. Like what about when it's number 2 time?
Right.
Do you
thread,
go somewhere?
It's Mary Robinette Cowell, Kowal, and she crushed it.
No, the thread's amazing. Like I want to know, like, do they go somewhere else in the ship? Is it cool to do it in your seat, or are you supposed to go somewhere else?
Turns out diapers are kind of where the way to do it for a long time.
You'll just be chilling, studying moon rocks, looking your compatriot in the eye.
Speaking of,
I want to know more about the sleeping too.
That Gendy is peeing his pants while he's
talking. They always leave that stuff out.
First man on the moon, we know, Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
First man to pee on the moon, Buzz Aldrin.
Oh yeah,
that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Let's do one more. Time for one more.
I got one that we got to do.
Okay, John, read our last croissant question here.
Back to Stinky Joseph.
Yep.
Yoder.
What food that's not a breakfast food do you wish was a breakfast food so you could eat it in the morning without people judging you?
We're on the count of 3. We say liquor.
Marijuana. No, burger. I wish I could.
Burger.
I wish like burgers. Yeah, I could just wake up and eat a burger with an egg on it and go about my day because I like eating meat early in the day.
Put some cinnamon toast crunch on your burger.
Ooh.
Oh my God! You could sell that for $28 to tourists.
Cinnamon toast. Good answers. Can I spin the question?
Yeah.
How about what food that is a breakfast food do I wish wasn't, so that I could refuse it with more ease? I think the lox, the seafood for breakfast thing is repulsive, and I don't like being shamed when I turn it down.
That was mine, John.
Was it?
Yeah.
Is seafood for breakfast? I feel like there's crab cakes seem to be okay.
Yeah.
Like eggs Benedict with the crab cakes seems to be all right.
I think all of that's foul.
I was going to say I wish shellfish were more okay.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't want any apology for waking up at 6 a.m. Yeah, I'll have some eggs, and yeah, I'll have some boiled shrimp. What do I care? I go to some of these breakfast buffets, and like they, if you're there at 7 a.m., the raw bar not open.
Chuck, I'm getting a reverse umami.
They open it at 10 a.m.
Reverse umami.
Reverse umami. No, I love the best Eggs Benedict I ever had was like a lobster Eggs Benedict. And it was an incredible, like, taste. I love lobster. So I don't know why you wouldn't like seafood. I'm a huge Lox fan ever since their days on Bad Boy Records.
I'll eat a bagel and lox at like 2:30 p.m. just fine.
I mean,
it's a brunch. I can't do it in the morning.
I will only eat lox if that is the only seafood being offered to me.
Right.
I like it fine, but if we're at if there's some kind of buffet situation, or if I'm at a restaurant ordering, no, I'm not getting lox.
That's funny.
Anyway,
if you could replace an actor with yourself in any movie,
yeah,
what character would you choose to play in a movie?
I have seen myself act, and it was one of the worst moments of my life.
It's truly awful.
So I don't know, John. At least I believe you at least are talented at acting. I possess no talent at acting. I would, Sam Jackson and Goodfellas.
Damn.
I don't know. Did I steal yours?
Literally what I was thinking. Like in my head, I'm like, what bit player in role play?
I would have to do. I would have to do.
Stacks.
I was going to do Stacks or
I would
Morty.
have to do nothing and be murdered in a memorable way.
Right. I want to die talking about the Boston College point spreading scandal.
You would be an excellent Maury.
Yeah,
Chuck.
Maury would be me. But
I need to see you in a toupee before I die.
John, what's yours?
I'm gonna kick it back to the NBA. I'm gonna go with Ray Allen, Jesus Shuttlesworth.
I know what you're talking about.
The recruiting trip, right before the magical Rick Pitino inspired recruiting trip.
I know what you're talking about.
Actually, there is one role that I think I could be perfect in, and there's this movie, The Tao of Steve.
Oh yeah,
sure. That movie. I never saw it.
That guy.
You have a lot of Donald Logue in you.
Donald Logue. That's me. If I act, John's told me I could be an actor, and like many things, if I put effort in, I'm sure I'd be good. But it is the worst thing to do. I think.
I feel like if there was some kind of heist movie or what was that Netflix original? It was maybe called Frontier something.
Oh yeah, with
Affleck
and one of the guys,
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do a movie like that if I was the guy who says nothing.
Yeah,
like I could be in a group of 4. I would love to be in like a cool movie where there's one guy who doesn't speak. I think I could do that.
I mean, if you were as handsome as Charlie Hunnam, you would be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
My thing
I
is
was just in a movie, Light in the Radiant City. Check it out on Hulu. Where I finally watched it, and pretty much every single line I had was cut.
Oh, good for you, buddy.
And that,
Check's
my
still
friends, is a spectacular experience.
Waste all your time.
Ready, getting the courage up to watch yourself in a movie, and you're just gone.
Yeah. Cutting room flow.
Well, anyway, those are our croissant questionnaires. Once again, if you want to submit your own, you got to become a Patreon supporter. Patreon.com/Fast Break Breakfast. Parfait away, gentlemen. Getting out of here. What things are we looking forward to? Don't everyone say Tim Duncan, assistant coach.
No, I'm looking forward to the Spurs finally becoming better because of it, because I knew, and everybody else knows, Popovich is just riding Tim Duncan's coattails like Brady and Belichick. He's overrated.
Which one's riding whose?
Oh, well, Brady is the talent.
Okay.
Yeah. The managers.
That's a twist from the normal interpreration.
No. Brady's the best quarterback of all time. And Belichick.
Marino, shut up.
No, I mean, you know what I mean.
Non-Dan Marino category. Non-Jay Fielder.
No.
Jim Kelly. Let's. You brought up Tim Duncan. I got to do it. It should have been my apology this week. Tim Duncan, truly ahead of his time. Everyone in super hip, the hippest place in the world, Los Angeles, dresses like a ninja.
Everybody's wearing anime shirts.
Way ahead of it. Tim Duncan, ahead of his time, sartorially, and as a player, and now as a coach.
Yeah.
Props to Tim Duncan.
Man, I can't wait to see him dressed on the sidelines. That's going to be the best.
Why in the world is he doing this?
He needs a D&D group.
Is this the final chapter of the salary cap circumventing? I was going to say circumventation. That works too. Because he was underpaid his last few years.
Circumscription.
And now it's like we're going to find out that he makes like $28 million a year to be an assistant coach.
Assistant in the history
They're like,
sports.
we can't really pay you this if you're not with the team.
Yeah.
You just working out in our team facilities every day. We're having trouble getting that by the board of governors. But we can make you the highest paid assistant coach ever.
I look forward to last week. I talked out both sides of my head. I said the Lakers would suck and they would be out of in the second round, which is me covering all my bases.
It is out of all your bases. It's not
beautiful.
A bad, yeah.
It was one of my greatest takes.
I guess finally, I'm looking forward to. I want to know where Danilo Gallinari ends up on a team. I feel like he's like he's free and available to someone, or he's available for a very cheap price.
Yeah,
but I can't figure out any trade that makes sense.
No,
like I feel like
what is he making?
He's like $20 million a year, 22 a year. And
it's not hard.
Like I feel like he should be on the Blazers, but there's like no way they can make those contracts work unless they're
They dump Whiteside.
Yeah, like try to figure out a way to dump Whiteside in a couple months. Like even the Heat could use him.
Oh wow,
I mean, trying to think like good teams they could use a 4 who can score. I mean, the Lakers could maybe, but they can't do it. There's all these teams where it doesn't make any sense. So he's a guy I'm monitoring. I mean, Chris Paul, yes, some teams step up, pony up, don't be a coward, trade for Chris Paul. But also Danilo Gallinari, a guy who had an incredible year last season, a big part of the Clippers' success, and he's just like trapped in Oklahoma City and probably available, and hopefully he'll end up somewhere interesting.
I fell asleep. What happened?
Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, if you want to support our show, patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. If you want a Boban or John Wick shirt on a beautiful tri-blend, highly comfortable t-shirt with our name written on the back, DM me on Twitter, fastbreakbreak, or send me an email at fastbreakbreak@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. All right, you guys are the best. Thanks for listening, and remember, breakfast is the most important thing.